With Mega Evolutions coming out in late September, we are only 2 weeks away from the release. And after that will be the end of the glorious Scarlet and Violet era. And today what I want to do is I want to rank every single Scarlet and Violet set now that it's done, and we'll see which one stands at the top. Let's get to it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Splash Zone. My name is Michael, and today what I want to do is I want to rank every single Scarlet and Violet set in the era and see which one stands at the top. Now, we all know that Scarlet and Violet was one of the best eras of all time. I mean, you think about it, it was very in demand, and it was one of those eras where every single set was really difficult to find once this big boom started. And it is one of the most common sets for a lot of rip and shippers to open and do a lot of shows with. So it will be very interesting to see which set stands at the top of the Scarlet and Violet era. And with that being said, if you have any ideas of what you think is the best set, please comment down in the comment section below. And if you do like these ranking videos, please do like and subscribe, as it does help the channel. And without further ado, you guys, let's get to the ranking of the Scarlet and Violet era sets. Okay, and here is the tier list for us. So pretty much I'm just gonna go based off opinion. I did not prep for this at all, and that's okay, because I kind of don't want to be like I predetermine where everything's going. I kind of want to think kind of like freely about this and maybe change my mind on a dime and just go with what I think is actually true about these sets as well. The pictures are not great, and I've never really done this. I've probably done this like one other time. So I'm trying to understand how to do these tier makers and make the images look beautiful. So sorry in advance. I will also recap just to make sure that you do know what image is what, and you can see what's in the S tier, A tier, B tier, C, and D tier, okay? So the first one is going to be Stellar Crown. Now, Stellar Crown, it gives us the hit cards Bulbasaur and Squirtle, and then it gives us a nice special illustration rare for the Terapagos, which was seen as a top hit, but we do know that Terapagos isn't the main hit the way Bulbasaur and Squirtle hit, you know? So I think because of the hits and the fact that it's not really the best set overall, but you do have two Gen 1 Pokemon in Squirtle and Bulbasaur, I'm gonna give it a C. Because it's not necessarily the best set, but it's also not the worst. So I think because of that, I'm okay putting it in the C range. The hits aren't really worth the booster box, I will say though. The booster box is pretty expensive, as is every single Scarlet and Violet booster box. But these cards in a PSA 10 are beautiful, so be as it may, you know, it is what it is. Okay, then we have Paradox Rift, which Paradox Rift actually has a vast amount of special illustration and illustration rares. And of course, I'm a huge fan of Groudon. You know, Groudon was in, you know, Gen 3 coming out with Kyogre and stuff. But I do believe that this Groudon is going to help this set a lot. And Groudon hasn't exploded yet, but I believe it eventually will. And it is a hard card to grade. And just the fact that Paradox Rift has so many different rares in it, and it's a beautiful set in general, and I think it's underappreciated, I think it's gonna do well, actually. So I think with that, I'm gonna give it a B, just because I think Groudon is a bigger hit than both the Bulbasaur and the Squirtle from Stellar Crown. And on top of that, it just has so many more desirable arts in there, and it has a huge, robust amount of arts. That's why I like it so much. All right. Well, then we have Twilight Masquerade. Okay, so when you think of Twilight Masquerade, the truth is the top hits, accordingly, right, are of course the Greninja and the Blood Moon Ursaring, sorry, I was gonna say Ursaluna, Ursaring, right? And honestly, the Ursaring is a pretty dope card. The fact is, Ursaring just isn't a popular Pokemon. You know, Teddiursa, I think, has a little fandom here and there, but Ursaring is not really some Pokemon that most people go after, you know, but the Greninja is huge. And you do have a Perrin, and you do have Eevee from Twilight Masquerade, and it's a beautiful PSA 10 card as well. And then also, the Chansey's getting a lot of love from this set as well. So I think this set is actually underappreciated for how many hit cards it does have, but that Greninja is going to be a strong hit going forward. So I think because of that, I do not mind putting this in the A tier. I do believe that they have better hits than Paradox, so it belongs above it. But I believe this will probably be at the bottom of the A tier. So would it be like right in the beginning of the A tier. It'd be more at the bottom A tier, maybe more like a B plus. So because it's so new, I don't have an opinion yet on Black and White Flare. All I know, and I'm putting them together, I'm aware that they're different sets. I'm aware. But the truth is, it's too new to really know how much people love these sets. Obviously, people like Zekrom. People love Reshiram. The arts are great. I mean, you have a black and a white rare, which I think is really cool. Have a great Victini card. The special illustration rare for these cards are really great. But to see how much it makes an impact Scarlet and Violet is TBD. So because Black and White has done so well, though, I would say that in the past, at least, I would say it's going to do well in the Scarlet and Violet era, too. So because of that, I'm going to put it in at the B range. I'll put it right in front of Paradox Rift. I'm trying to put it in front of Paradox Rift. Yeah, we'll do that. There we go. Finally mix it. So I think it's in front of Paradox Rift just because of all the cool nostalgic arts that they have. But there is room for it to be an A or maybe even an S tier down the line. It's just hard to say right now. Journey Together. Journey Together is interesting because it had a lot of hype and people bought it out just because of the huge boom that we're in. But the truth is, it's not the most beloved set. Not many people care to have the trainers in the cards. You know, it kind of had that feel of like Gym Heroes and Gym Leaders when it first came out, but people don't really care about those sets as much. I mean, yeah, obviously they're rare Wizard of the Coast sets, but Journey Together doesn't have that hype that people are actually looking for in Scarlet and Violet. And it does have nice cards, though. It does have beautiful cards to offer, but because of that, I'm actually going to put it below Stellar Crown. I just don't think it's in demand. I think it's more of a C minus tier, in my opinion. I do believe that Stellar Crown has more to offer, and it might be disrespectful, I think, to people who love Journey Together and the trainers in there with the Pokemon. But I just don't believe that people are going to want this in the future as much as these other sets. All right, we finally, I believe, hit our S tier, guys. And it's going to be, with Prismatic Evolutions, it's going to be an S tier. Truth is, evolutions are popping off. Umbreon is going to be one of the most popular Pokemon of all time. And on top of that, the Umbreon in this set is still amazing, even with Prismatic being printed to the ground. And the truth is, it is. Like, Pokemon is printing at its max capacity. The truth is, Modern has just never been this in demand ever in history. So, Prismatic technically is being printed to the ground. But there's just not enough. There's too many people in Pokemon. But with that being said, the demand for these cards has not slowed down. What has tainted Prismatic as a set is just the fact that it's hard to find and it's really rubbed people the wrong way because of that. It's known as the scalped set, right? But also its pull rates are terrible, but that nobody hates Evolving Skies because of that, right? So for this reason, I think because you have all the evolutions, you can get them all and really say that you can accomplish this set. I think everybody wants this set, and truly everyone wants this set. It belongs in the S tier, and I believe it's going to be in the S tier for years to come. I believe it may be the best set to have Scarlet and Violet era when it's all said and done. But it's yet to be seen because there's so many other sets to worry about. Like, for example, this next one, Destined Rivals. And I know what we're thinking. I'm not going to put this below. Yeah, Destined Rivals is right there at the top A tier. And the reason why it's not higher and why it's not an S tier set for me is because of the fact that it's so new. Now, it has the nostalgia, and it has so many good cards. You have Rocket's Moltres. You have, of course, a Rocket's Mewtwo, which should have been mentioned first, by the way. And having Giovanni on it with the box with the Mewtwo. This is everything that we've been wanting out of a Rocket set forever, right? So you have a lot of other cards until you have Misty's Lapras. You have Misty's Psyduck, which are huge cards. Ethan's Ho-Ho. Typhlosion. There are so many beautiful, beautiful cards in this set. Like, you can't stop being excited about this set. And the truth is, we have to see how many of those Rockets, Mewtwo's are going to be out there. But the truth is, regardless, it's going to be an iconic card. The only reason stopping it from being in the S tier is just the fact that it's so new. I know what you're thinking, though. What about Prismatic? Yeah, I know. Prismatic is also new. But I think the demand for Prismatic and how many hits that there are in there, because you're not even forgetting about the Roaring Moon and other cards that are in Prismatic as well. There are so many hits in there that are worth so much money. Prismatic actually is worth so much more money than the rest of these sets, actually. A lot of the singles are worth so many more cards in all these other sets. So that's why Prismatic is in an S tier. I'm not saying that Destined Rivals will never be S tier. It might be. and we have to see how it performs. It's still rather new. All right, Temporal Forces is going to be my first D. Okay, don't hate the sets. I just don't like the hits, and I don't believe they're going to come back and have a very big collector base. Yeah, you have the 3 dogs in there, and you have like their big forms of them, right? But I just don't believe that Temporal Forces is that good of a set. Yeah, the Raging Bolt's a beautiful card, but I don't think people are going to go back and be like, I want that Raging Bolt. I don't believe that. I don't believe that people are going to care about Temporal Forces. Now, are the card arts nice? Yeah, they are. But I just do not think that people are going to love Temporal Forces the way that they're going to like the rest of these Scarlet Violet sets, right? So that's where I'm at with that. I don't have much more to say. I just don't think that this set really hits for many people. And on top of that, this was like the only set on the Pokemon Center that wasn't moving for the longest time. So take it as you may. You might not agree with it, but that's just where I'm at. Shrouded Fable. I think this is even worse than Temporal Forces. Now, I think had this set been like a Halloween theme, it'll be totally different. It'll be totally like hyped up, right? Because it's like a Halloween theme. And don't get me wrong, the card arts here are nice. I mean, you have a hit Pershing, you have a hit Houndoom, you have Duskull, and so many other cards in here that actually can make a statement here. But the truth is that this is not a set that many people want. And there's a reason why there's so many of it out there. But the truth is, because some people want this, it is short printed. So I would say investment-wise, sealed-wise, it will probably do well in the future. But I think because of the fact that there's not many hits that people desire, yes, Houndoom is pretty popular, but they only really popped off because of the fact of rockets coming out, of like Destined Rivals being a rocket set, so Purging popped off a little bit. I think because of that, it made the Houndoom pop off a little bit. These cards truly are not as desirable as many people think. And the set isn't like, oh, let me go get some Shrouded Fable. I mean, people will buy it if there's nothing else on the shelves, but I do not think that this is going to be like one of the best sets by any means. And I think, honestly, it's just not a good set in general. And I think it'll probably sit at the bottom. I hate to say it. Now we're talking. So I have another S tier here, but I do not believe it's going to be better than Prismatic. Now, the reason why Paldean Fates is S tier, well, one, it has a big 3 hit here. It has a Charizard. It has a Gardevoir as a special illustration rare, and it has, of course, the best of them all, the Bubble Mew. And the Bubble Mew, in my opinion, is going to be one of the best cards in the era, if not the best. I mean, that card is so desired. And if you think about it, and if you truly do think about it, cards that have a nickname tend to do well in history of Pokemon, right? So I think because of the fact that this is a specialized set and it has those big 3, and it has such a high popularity, Mimikyu is even a popular Pokemon, and having it on there and the beautiful purple, it pops. It really does pop. People are gonna love this set. The PC ETB is already approaching close to $500. The regular ETBs approaching $300. Like, this set is so good. Like, there's no reason why it shouldn't be there. I love this set so much. All right, and we're hitting on the S tiers quite a bit now. I think this one deserves to be in front of them all, and that's going to be the 151. Now, this is biased because I'm nostalgic. I grew up being able to open up base set, and I got to experience opening up the very first Pokemon cards ever in the history of Pokemon. And 151 brought a lot of people back into the hobby. That's a fact. It's not untrue, right? And this takes us back to people who couldn't afford base set or even just first edition now, right? If you think about it, like, people who missed out on that, this is their base set. And you have a beautiful Sunzard. You have all the original 151 that you grew up knowing as a kid when you watched the cartoons or the animes and things like that. It just is straight nostalgia. And I can't think of a set that's popping off right now in Scarlet Violet more than 151. Look at the PC ETB. This set is barely 2 years old, but yet the PC ETB is already passing $1,000. I just sold mine for like $900 at my recent vending show. So the fact that this is popping off at 2 years, I won't be surprised in another 2 years is $4,000. I mean, even the UPC is going for $400, $500. This set is so loved by so many people, and nostalgia is doing it for us all. All right, Obsidian Flames. I'm gonna put this in the B tier, but top B tier. And here's the reason why. The booster box and the cards in it suck. I'm gonna be honest. What about the Charizard is popping off? That is straight hype for the Charizard Gengar set coming out, you know, Phantasmal Flames. That's the only reason why. That Charizard was not desired until this whole hype happens. And then before that, Obsidian Flames was seen as a joke. Now, why am I putting it in a high-end B tier? Because of the PC ETB. The PC ETB is going for close to $1,000 now. That Charmander in the PC ETB is so hard to get in a PSA 10. And that Charmander is going for about $2,500 in a PSA 10. That is the reason why this set is even in the B tier, because the PC ETB is making up for all the slack. Because honestly, Obsidian Flames was not worth opening until the Charizard exploded off this hype. That card's gonna go back down. And then once again, Obsidian Flames is worth opening. If you found a better time to open up Obsidian Flames, it is now. It is now, okay? Other than that, the only reason why it's here is that PC ETB. And simple. Okay, Scarlet and Violet base. I'm gonna put that in the middle of Stellar Crown, but ahead of Journey Together. I know, I'm kind of pooping on Journey Together right now. It's just not my favorite set, guys. I mean, like I said, you guys comment down in the comment section below. You let me know what you think. But Scarlet and Violet base is an average set, but for a base set, it's a tremendous set. For the most part, usually the base set is the worst set for a lot of eras, but not Scarlet and Violet. You have some good hits here. You do have a good Carnivore. You have a good Gardevoir. You have a Drowsy, which that Drowsy, yes, it has come back down in price, but in a PSA 10, it's still very hard to get in a PSA 10. And it still is very expensive, and there is a fandom for it. So I do believe that this set still being an iconic set, being an iconic era, this set started it all. People are gonna want this. And I think also knowing that there's not terrible hits in here, people are gonna love this set. So that's why I put it in like the mid-C range. All right, Paldea Evolved. Here we go. This is actually the Paldea Evolved I wanted. I'm putting this Paldea Evolved in the A+ tier. It's not quite S, but it is A+. And yeah, I'm putting it over the Rocket's Mewtwo right now. Why? How could you? Destined Rivals is going to be the top thing. It's new, guys. There's still a lot to be answered about it. But there's nothing to say about Paldea Evolved. Paldea Evolved is probably going to go down as the best booster box set of the era, right? And I truly believe that. If you look at the S tier, those are ETB exclusive sets. And they're amazing sets, right? But when it comes down to Scarlet and Violet and the booster box sets, I think Paldea Evolved stands above them all. Why? Well, one, it has my mascot. It has a Paldea Evolved illustration rare Magicarp that is probably going to be the grail of the era. And I'm not even being biased. I'm being dead serious. That card is so hard to grade. It is so desirable. And it is already up there with vintage cards, right? If I wanted to probably sell the Magikarp for $3,000 on eBay right now, I probably could, but I refuse. But I mean, I have had it out there for the shows and the vending shows, but I've been very firm on prices. People are trying to maybe come down on it. I'm not. I have no regrets if I don't sell it. But you have a Raichu, you have a Typhlosion, you have, Tyranitar, not Typhlosion. But this set is so good, and it has actually a lot of illustration rares. It has a lot of trainers in it. There are so many things going right for this set, and I think as long as the Magikarp stays strong, this set will stay strong, and I think it is. Especially if the Magikarp becomes the Umbreon of this era, that set, I think Paldea Evolved may be the best set of the entire era, but we have to wait and see. All right, and lastly, we have Surging Sparks. And I'm gonna put Surging Sparks right ahead of Twilight Masquerade because of its big three. If I could do that, okay, then there we go. It's an A tier set. I know that people have, Vivid Voltage vibes with this, and people are like, the Pikachu is mid. The look back at it, Pikachu is mid. But it's not even just the Pikachu. You have the Latias in there, which is a beautiful card. I mean, that card is actually hard to grade in a 10, and it's one of the best cards you can get in the era right now. The Latias is amazing. And they have a Milotic, which is beautiful. I mean, Surging Sparks has a lot to offer, you know, and even the Executor. I have an Executor. I have that in a PSA 10 with a nice kind of tropic art guard around it. There are a lot of beautiful arts in this set. And I do believe that it is an A tier set. And I think at the end, it's going to be an A tier set because Pikachu always performs well no matter what. Truth is, we'll have to see if this set is going to be printed to the ground. Vivid Voltage was printed into the ground. I think that's why it got destroyed price-wise. We'll have to see if this happens. But the truth is that there's still a lot of Vivid Voltage out there. There's not much Surging Sparks because of Rip and Chip, right? So I think that's the reason why I'm putting it there, because I do believe these cards are highly, highly liquid. I think they're very desirable, and I think Surging Sparks can be amazing. So let's do a recap really quick. So at S tier, the top, I have 151, and then we have Prismatic, and then we have Paldean Fates. If you wanted to switch out Paldean Fates for one of these sets, I wouldn't mind, but I think the Bubble Mew is just too strong. Okay, then we have the A tier, starting off with Paldea Evolved. Then, of course, a possible S tier in the future, but two new. We have Destined Rivals, Surging Sparks, and then Twilight Masquerade finishing off the A tier. Starting off the B tier, we have Obsidian Flames, White Flare and Black Bolt together. Okay, like I said, I understand they're separate, but they need to be seen as a B tier right now until further notice, and we see more. And then Paradox Rift, just because I think it's very undervalued. A lot of choices from there, a lot of good arts. Then Stellar Crown, great cards to get from it, just not very valuable. One of the base sets that everyone wants. It's going to be one of the best base sets ever, but Scarlet and Violet base sets usually just aren't the most desired. Journey Together, I think there is more potential there, but right now for me, it's not my best one. And then lastly, we have Temporal Forces and Shrouded Fable finishing it off. And those are my rankings, and I really, really want to know what you guys think. So let me know if you like my rankings down in the comment section. Let me know if you don't. That's okay. That's the beauty about the Pokemon community. We can all talk respectfully and see which sets we like the most from the Scarlet and Violet era. And I know we will all miss this era, but now it's time to see what the next era has in store for us. With that being said, you guys, thank you for watching the video. Have an amazing day, and bye-bye.